3 of those losses. Now that's the upside. The downside, Shaquille O'Neal averaged 35 against them.
Kobe Bryant averaged 30. Sacramento is not a particularly good road team, 14 and 27 on the road. And they ended the season on a 4-game losing streak and losers of 7 of their last 8. That is why the Lakers, despite the fact that the Kings have given them occasional trouble, are a prohibitive favorite in this 1-8 matchup. As you see, it's happened twice before. Denver against Seattle, Knicks against Miami. The present playoff format has been in place since 1984. O'Neal against Divac. That's the way the playoffs begin for the Lakers, who were 67 and 15, 23 games better than Sacramento's 44 and 38.
Well, great matchup here early, Bob. Jason Williams guarded by Kobe Bryant, all-league defense, great size. It'll be interesting to see how Jason Williams attacks him and what speed, what pace he starts this game out. We know he can get a little hyper early in games.
Foul was on Glenn Rice, his first. The winner gets the Phoenix San Antonio survivor. Suns up 1-0 in that series. Here's Weber, tying the game.
Now, you've just seen the two strengths of these teams against each other. Shaq in the post against Divac, Weber in the post against AC Green. Watch those matchups all day long.
Ron Harper floats through. Doesn't get the bounce, but the tip falls for AC Green, whose consecutive game streak stands at 1,110. Of course, any games he plays in the playoffs, or if he should miss one, doesn't affect that streak. It's regular season games only, and it's long since the NBA record. Weber over Green.
See, it's a very difficult matchup because he can step out and shoot the ball or he can post. So they would love, speaking of the Lakers, to see Weber shoot a lot of jump shots rather than be down on that block.
Glenn Rice. He averaged 16 a game as Divac comes racing back and collides with O'Neal, and they hit Shaq with the foul. Rice averaged 16 a game. That's down from his days as the #1 option for the Charlotte Hornets. But if he shoots it well in the postseason, not only are the Lakers nearly unbeatable, but he's playing for next year's contract.
Well, you know, Glenn Rice is a guy that is so capable of throwing up big numbers that you talked about. And what I loved here in this first possession in a fast break offense for the Sacramento Kings, they came right back after a score, and Vlade attacked Shaq in the fast break, picked up a quick foul. So Vlade needs to run the floor every time he can to try to wear Shaq down.
And the Kings' approach will be to try to quicken the pace as much as they can. They can't so much defend the Lakers as they can hope to disrupt them.
Absolutely, disrupt the rhythm and the timing they love to play in this triangle offense.
Rice again. And Weber takes it.
And they must defensive rebound. The Lakers have really hurt them in the season series on the offensive board, averaging 16 offensive rebounds a game.
Weber with a quick start, and Sacramento takes the lead, 8-7.
Now, when I talked to Phil Jackson today before the game, one of his things where he's not so much concerned about Weber throwing up a big game, I'm talking about 30 points, as he is if he would get 10 or 11 assists. He doesn't want to get other people involved.
Kobe Bryant against 2 defenders.
They really have nobody with enough quickness to guard Kobe. That's a tough matchup for them.
Williams for 3. He won't be bashful about it. He shoots just about as many as anyone in the league. He doesn't shoot a very high percentage, but he checks his conscience at the door. Sacramento has made all 4 shots it's taken from the field. And they lead by a basket. Shaquille O'Neal just brushing defenders aside as if they were children.
Well, Weber came over to double team, and he took a very poor angle. He allowed Shaquille O'Neal to step right through the double team and get the dunk. You got to close that up.
Williamson got free inside, and the Kings take a 13-11 lead.
And Bob, the Lakers know that Sacramento can score points. They average 103 points a game against them, so they are capable of putting up a big game. The Lakers have to match them.
Kobe Bryant is short with the jumper, but Harper grabs the offensive rebound. A set shot for him is good from just inside the three-point line, a two-point basket.
See, he's really the emotional conduit between Phil Jackson and his team. Quick transition here by Weber once again, but when you see timeouts and all, Phil Jackson always goes to Ron Harper, gets his sense, and then goes talk to the team. He's been a real glue to this team this year.
Very plain, though, that Sacramento wants to run every time they can.
Chris Webber, one of the toughest matchups in the league because he can run the floor so well. You see the power dunk. He's posted. He stepped out on the floor and shot the jump shot. Off to a terrific start. Sacramento playing with a lot of poise.
The Kings have made all 6 shots they've taken, and they lead by 2. With Ahmad Rashad and Doug Collins, Bob Costas back at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Doug, by any measure, the Lakers are the league's best team, but let's measure it several ways.
Well, when you look at the numbers, you can see why they are so dominant. We know of their record, but how did this record come about? You see number 1 in rebounds, an opponent's field goal percentage and three-point differential of plus 8.5, tied to the best home court record with Indiana. They have the best road record in case they would lose the home court advantage, and they have the most lethal 1-2 combination in the NBA. Shaquille O'Neal, who's going to be the MVP of the league, and Kobe Bryant, who's playing first-team All-NBA, both on both ends of the floor. So with all those things, that's why they are where they are. The pressure's on them now. It starts today.
And the gorgeous turnaround by Kobe Bryant ties the game at 15. Here's Jason Williams accelerating at the other end, finding Williamson for the jumper, and that's the first shot missed today by Sacramento. Shaq in the paint against Divac. It's short, but the tip drops for A.C. Green.
Remember I talked about the offensive rebounding, Bob. That's 3 offensive rebounds for 7 points here already. Uh-oh.
Jason Williams just pulls up and bombs away with that 3, the second one he's hit in this first quarter. A.C. Green. They let him have it, and he missed the open jumper, but Kobe wrests the offensive rebound away. Hit the underside of the glass, and Sacramento comes back with numbers. Williams again. Oh, by Weber, who was inside Shaq with ball position, and man, was that emphatic.
That was one of the most spectacular plays of the season.
Wow.
You talk about a big man with great hands. Chris Webber, what a tremendous finish.
Shaq looks to answer. There's contact, no foul. Green on the offensive glass. Shaq again.
3 seconds.
And it is a 3-second violation on Shaq and the Lakers. Watch the play by Weber.
The importance of your big men running the floor. Was there any doubt that Jason Williams was going to pull on that 3, Bob? He's already hit 2 of those today, but look at the hands of Chris Webber. The power, the spectacular finish, and look at him fall. He actually did a little backflip before he got up in the air.
He's already scored 10. Here's Divac, the hook over Shaq. And Rice clears the boards. O'Neal again. Once more.
Offensive rebounds, number 6 for 9 points. So when you look up the Lakers scoring right now, Bob, almost 50% of their offense on second shots.
Meanwhile, Sacramento has missed only 2 shots in this game, yet they lead by only a point. Nick Anderson knocked away and stolen by Harper. Taken right back. Anderson poked it to Divac. Jason Williams.
Against the Lakers, you've got to force turnovers. They don't turn it over much. They're 5th in the league. They get good shot opportunities. If you can pressure them, get some points off turnovers, it enhances your chance to win.
When Rice drives and is fouled, the officials are Steve Javy, Eddie F. Rush, and Mike Callahan.
Ron Harper makes a great strip of Nick Anderson as he tries to go up, and then Nick Anderson did not quit on the play. He comes in from behind. Vlade looks over his shoulder, sees Jason Williams, pulls up, knocks in that little jumper. 8 quick points now for Jason
And Rice hits the free throw. Folks, you can log on to msnbcsports.com and check out Showtime Online for in-depth playoff coverage. Isaiah Thomas has analysis and predictions on each series. Bill Walton previews each game. Steve Jones looks at the 10 players to watch. And Matt Gukas focuses on the hottest playoff topics. msnbcsports.com, the official website of NBC Sports.
One of the things they're trying to do is let Vlade feed the post and then cut through to give Weber room on that low block. So watch for that today. He'll be the passer. If Shaq helps, they'll kick it out to him. Bob, he'll look to shoot the jump shot.
Rice from the head of the key.
You love the playoffs because your star players come to the front. That's what this is all about.
Jason Williams guarded by Kobe Bryant. Divac's a long one. Air ball. But the Lakers touched it last, and the Kings will keep it.
What about we saw it yesterday? Karl Malone with 50. Allen Iverson with 40. Zoe with 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 blocks. It's the time for the stars to bring their game.
Divac's tried it again with no more success. Shaq to the left hand.
He's just punishing the double team. He's getting one bounce, getting his shoulder into Vlade, and getting right to the front of the rim. Those shots are too easy. Sacramento's got to do a better job than that.
Jason Williams around the screen, feeding Divac and now Weber.
What a great passing team, Sacramento. They move the ball so well, and Bob, you see they're not standing on the perimeter. A lot of movement.
Kobe Bryant's jumper is off. Weber is alone under the glass. Williams operating on Bryant. Around the perimeter to Weber. Too quick for AC Green, but he lost the ball on the way to the hoop. There's a foul, however, against the Lakers.
See, the one thing about Sacramento with this matchup, when Weber goes on the perimeter, he's too quick for AC Green, as you talked about. When Ori comes into the game, he's too powerful for him down low. So he has to recognize the difference, who's guarding him at what stage of the game, and then adjust his game accordingly.
Here is Weber, who shot 45% from the line last year. This year up to 75%.
Well, you can see what he's done this year. During the Lakers, they have had no answer for him. Played exceptionally well. And for them to win today, not only is he going to have to score, he's going to have to rebound, but he's also going to have to be able to find his teammates out on the floor when they start helping.
His improvement at the line is the single greatest one-year improvement by any player in NBA history who took as many as 100 free throws in the successive seasons.
So what it shows you is you can always get better if you're willing to put in the work and do so.
Pollard and Stojaković off the bench for Rick Adelman's Kings, and a foul at the other end.
Now, Stojaković is in the game, one of the best 6 men in the league. In this series against the Lakers in the regular season, averaged over 20 points a game, shot 56% from the floor, and they had no answer for him.
Pollard doing what he can against O'Neal, a whistle before the shot. When you grow to be 6'11 and 265, as is Pollard, growing up, you're always the biggest guy. In the class, in the schoolyard, anywhere. It must be very strange not only to find somebody bigger, but so much bigger that you're puny next to him.
Well, the sad part about it, too, is bigger, stronger, faster, all the things you're talking about. It's one thing to be bigger when you throw in speed and quickness, and Shaquille O'Neal is exceptionally quick to the ball today. And, Bob, I know I've said this about 3 times already, but Sacramento has got to defensive rebound the basketball.
Shaq has forced Pollard into 2 quick fouls. Here's an overlooked statistic. Laker players have fouled out a combined total of 10 times this year. But as the opposition tries to defend Shaquille O'Neal, there have been 42 disqualifications against Laker opponents. So even if he misses some of these free throws, as of course he does, he's constantly putting the other team in foul trouble, forcing the other coach to make substitutions he wouldn't have to make against other teams, getting the opposition over the foul limit early in quarters, and sending other Lakers to the line.
Bob, you said it all right there. What he does, he gets their better free throw shooters to the line earlier in the quarter.
Williams, good look at a 3. And Shaq takes it. Tied at 26 in a high-scoring first quarter. O'Neal guarded this time by Weber. The follow by Green. It didn't drop. Bryant picks it up. And Steve Javie says, hold on. AC Green couldn't finish that time, but he has done a job on the offensive glass in this first quarter.
How about this now? LA, 9 offensive rebounds. Sacramento, only 3 defensive rebounds.
Sacramento, which has played the Lakers tough throughout the season in the 4 regular season matchups, even with them here at 26 apiece with 2.5 minutes to play in the first. Of course, they could have avoided the 8-1 matchup by holding on to the 7 seed had they beaten Seattle at home last Tuesday. Instead, they lost to them in overtime, and they concluded the season dropping 7 of 8.
Well, the difference in the team this year coming into the playoffs as opposed to last year they went into the playoffs winning 10 of their last 11. They were on a real high, and they went in and played that way against Utah. So we'll have to see if this little lull at the end was due to, the injury to Chris Webber and just the fact that they just didn't finish the way they'd like to. But concern was they lost some home games they normally didn't lose.
Pollard out to Stojaković, who'll fire the jumper. Bryant in the front court. Accelerates into the lane and goes all the way to the rack.
Again, nobody with enough quickness. Nick Anderson not quick enough to guard Kobe Bryant. Kobe knows that, so he's not going to live with that jump shot. Crossover, get into the lane, get the easy.
Green alone on Weber, who slings it cross court to Williams. A 3 over Bryant is no good. Harper at age 36 takes it the length of the floor and is hammered. He'll come to the free throw line.
The old adage of teams that run don't like to have people run against them, but you see Kobe Bryant, a little head and shoulder fake, the up and under, splits 4 defenders and lays the ball in the basket. Sacramento, a porous transition defensive team. Now, one of the problems, you see the hard foul by Weber. Kobe Bryant is playing Jason Williams. When Jason Williams takes a shot, he's playing Harper. So he's trying to cross and catch up to him in transition. Nick Anderson's got to pick him up until he can get back there. So that cross match is a difficult thing, Bob, as this game goes on, and Harper knows that.
And the foul a moment ago was on Chris Webber. That's his second. Robert Horry in for AC Green, who played a strong first quarter.
What happens now is Sacramento really loses their low post game. Now, Thunderbird can score on occasion down there, but their 2 best low post players are Weber and Divac. They're both sitting out. They're going to become a perimeter team here. Will they make some shots? Watch the end of this quarter here. The Lakers are going to try to make a little surge to give themselves some distance.
They're up by 4 as Harper makes 1 of 2. Bryant at 6'7", guarding the 6'1" Jason Williams. Poked away from Stojaković by Rice. Into Bryant's hands. What can you say? The ball handling, the move, the sweet J to finish it off. And now Williams kicks it away at the other end.
This is where Sacramento gets themselves in difficulty. They start making a few mental errors on the offensive end, and then their defense breaks down.
Shaq to Kobe. Recovers it. They've still got 10 on the shot clock. Jump hook in the paint by Shaq. No good, but Harper with the follow.
See, no block out that time. Jason Williams allowed Harper to go right to the basket. So, I mean, they've got 10 offensive rebounds in this period, but they cannot possibly win this game if they are not going to get on the defensive backboard.
And with only 45 seconds to play in the quarter, Rick Adelman is forced into a 20-second timeout.
First quarter, but on the other end, Ron Harper is giving them points that he normally doesn't give them.
Shaq is out, Travis Knight in. Last few possessions here of the first quarter. There's Tony Delk just off the bench for Sacramento. To Stojaković, who misses the jumper. Thunderbird gives them a fresh 24. Delk on the run, tough shot, and he banks it in.
Now, this guy could be a real key in this series. Remember, Bob, we did the Sacramento-LA game, and he came in and played exceptionally well. 6'2", long arms, defends, rebounds. Watch Tony Delk in this series. He could be a key.
His basket ended a 9-0 Laker run. Kobe spinning, leaning, and missing. Anderson pushing it up the floor and heaving it at the buzzer. And the Lakers with a 6-point lead after one. Doug, you're always mentioning the last couple of minutes of a quarter. The Lakers seized it.
That's what championship teams do. They play you even for a while. They hit you with that surge. The Lakers with a 6-point lead.
And you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Talking to Ron Harper a lot the last couple of days, and he says that not only is he a conduit between the coach and the rest of the players, as Doug mentioned earlier, but also he feels like he has to set the tone for this team to really let them know how to play to win in playoff games. He said for the last 4 or 5 years, they've had potential, and they've gone home early with a lot of potential and no ring. Bob?
Ahmad, you're right, swept out of the playoffs the last couple of years by Utah and by San Antonio. But this, obviously, although some of the faces are the same, is a much different Laker team. Pollard screening for Delk. And Tony Delk, who so often gives them a boost off the bench, makes it 34-30.
He's a very good rebounder at the guard position. We talked about 10 offensive rebounds in that first quarter for the Lakers, Bob. That's the difference. They got 28 shots, only 22 for Sacramento. They both shot 50%. They just got more shots at the basket.
Kobe backing in on the smaller Delk and banking it home.
See, I mean, that's 20 points now already for Kobe and Shaq combined. During the regular season, they got 65 combined against this team. They've got to make somebody else make some shots.
Thunderberg with that lefty hook that spills off and into the hands of Bryant. Harper lost it. John Barry takes it and pulls up for three.
Why? You got a 2-on-1. Why shoot a three?
Here's Harper at the other end. He'll follow his own.
11 offensive rebounds now. That's 12 second shot or second chance points now. Rick Adelman had just got to put his head down. They had a 2-on-1 fast break off that steal, and Barry shot a three.
Sacramento wants to run. They want to dictate the pace, but they're often being beaten in transition. O'Neal made Pollard change the shot. And Eddie Rush says, stay right here, there's a foul.
Now take a look at this. The ball is going to be picked up by John Barry. A nice steal. You can see right here in this opportunity here. And it's going to come down the floor. Look, it's a 2-on-1 fast break. Drive the ball to the basket. Make Kobe Bryant pick you up. When he does, drop it off to Tony Delk. You shoot the three. That's why they're 28th in percentage and first in attempts in the NBA from that three-point line.
Foul was on Rick Fox. It was his first. Brian Shaw has just come in for Ron Harper off the Laker bench. Here's Stojaković. He is one of the best pure shooters in the NBA.
They don't want to let him get started. Again, during the regular season, shot 56% against the Lakers, averaged over 20 points a game. And Rick Adelman told us before the game, he said, I'll go to him early if I don't like what I see with Corliss Williamson.
Robert Ory. Their first basket for the former Houston Rocket. Tony Delk inside to Thunderberg.
Another nice play by Tony Delk. So he has come in and given this team a very, very nice lift.
Meanwhile, the people you'd surely consider the big three for the Kings, Divac, Williams, Weber, on the bench.
DC is brought to you by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. By Cadillac. The power of and. The fusion of design and technology. By the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? And by the new movie, The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. Starts April 28th at theaters everywhere.
Sometimes when you get into the playoffs, you can throw away regular season statistics against each other. In this case, you can't. The Lakers on the offensive backboard, second chance points. Shaquille O'Neal inside, forced to miss. He goes right back and lays the ball in the basket. Ron Harper on the little swooping drive, no block out. AC Green with the tip in. Jump shot once again, no block out. Ron Harper, that's his fourth offensive rebound of the first half. Steps out and buries a three, and then he follows this one up. 11 offensive rebounds, 12 total points. That is the difference in this game right now, because look at the shot opportunity. Sacramento's shooting a very good percentage, but the Lakers have 4 more attempts and they lead by 6.
Divac's back in, guarding O'Neal. Williams and Weber still on the Sacramento bench. Look at that excellent pass, even though Shaw couldn't convert. O'Neal has more assists than any center in the NBA.
Now let's see if Vlade can get himself involved. Step out on the floor, bring Shaq out, maybe hit a jump shot here off the pick and roll.
He screens for Barry, who swishes the three.
See, when Sacramento comes in with their bench, they're actually a better defensive team. Delk and Barry out there on the floor give them a better defensive backcourt than what they start with.
Kobe Bryant leans in on Stojaković, and it comes up short. Barry to Stojaković. And the tip by Tony Delk. What a pesky little guy he is.
I really like him, Bob. I loved him coming out of Kentucky. But he was that kind of combination guard.
Robert Horry looking for Kobe in the paint, who recovers it, but then loses it.
Lakers a little out of sync right now. The bench doing a nice job for Sacramento and really attacking once they get those turnovers.
Kings are on a 7-0 run and within a point. The ball was kicked, and Sacramento will keep it.
Well, they call him the bench mob in Sacramento, and Rick Adelman has tremendous confidence. John Barry, we saw his brother Brent yesterday for Seattle burying some threes. He knocks this one down. Playing in a nice rhythm right now, Sacramento. I like what they're doing.
Divac.
There's that little jump shot you got to bring Shaq out of the paint with. That's going to be a critical part of this series and anybody who plays against the Lakers.
Sacramento's bench, meanwhile, has outscored LA's 13-2. O'Neal surrounded. Fox follows. Shaq the third try. You don't stop that. And he's in double figures with 11. Weber peels off the warm-up, and he'll check back in. Funderburk's fadeaway. Won't stay down, but here comes Delk, streaking in to take it. It's poked away, though, on his pass, and the Lakers steal it. Kobe thought about a three. Collision with Barry, no whistle, and he buries the jumper.
Steve Devy looked at John Barry and said, get up, I'm not going to go for that little flop right there. So Kobe gets a break, and he takes advantage of it.
Here's John Barry through the lane. There's a whistle and a foul. It could have been a three-point play, but it wouldn't drop. Back to the Staples Center in a moment. At 67-15, the Lakers are the 11th team in NBA history to win 65 games or more in the regular season. 9 of the previous 10 to accomplish that went on to win the NBA title. The only exception, the 1973 Celtics, who won 68 but lost to the Knicks, the eventual champions that year, in the Eastern Conference Finals. But as I recall it, John Havlicek was hurt and played with one arm, really, for the entire series against the Knicks.
Well, actually played left-handed in that series. He hurt his right shoulder. But, you know, when we talked to Phil Jackson before the game, you see the Lakers there. He knows that this time of the year right now is why he's here with this team, because this team has shown in the past a lot of potential, but a little adversity has knocked them off their path. It's up to him to keep them on course regardless of what happens, you know, step by step along the way in the playoffs.
Robert Horry for three. to boost the lead to 47-43.
See, Phil Jackson loves when he steps out there and no hesitation shoots that ball. Remember now, at one point in time, he was a terrific three-point shooter in the championships in Houston.
Divac, the former Laker, over Shaq with the left hand. Ball poked to the side, and it's touched last by the Lakers. Sacramento will keep it. Shaquille O'Neal didn't flinch the other day as the playoffs approached. He said, look, if we don't win the championship, it's a failure. It's that simple. Championship or nothing.
I like that because you know what? He's right. Because no matter what they've done, they've dominated the league, Bob. We showed the graphic a while ago as Webber makes a little jump hook in the lane, but we showed how dominant they have been all season long. But right now is when greatness is judged, and Shaq is the MVP.
2 in a row from beyond the arc for Robert Horry.
Confidence is an amazing thing, isn't it? Once you start feeling it, no hesitation. And that's Vlade's got to call it right back up and he misses.
Back come the Lakers. 50-45, very high-scoring game. Still 5.5 minutes to play in the first half. O'Neal recovers it and scores. He has 13, as does Kobe. Webber is the game's high man with 16 for Sacramento. John Barry blocked away from behind and stolen by Shaw. He's got Rice on his right and Blount will lay it in.
This is what's hurt Sacramento against the Lakers all season long. They play them a little even, and then a little surge. Whether it be a block shot, whether it be a steal, whether it be some offensive rebounds. Brian Shaw plays John Barry in from behind, gets a piece of it, and this is the way you run the fast break. Make the defender come over, stop you, fill the lane. You got a great three-point shooter, but he runs for a layup.
Ought to just pitch a cot in that studio. 6 games over the weekend. 3 yesterday, 3 today. That's long duty.
Well, it's interesting, too, when you speak of the first 2 games, Bob always talk about stars winning championships. We see how Vince Carter struggled today in his first game on the road in the playoffs against New York, and then Kevin Garnett 6 for 20 today against Portland. Tough loss for Minnesota. So you see what happens is the pressure's turned up. That's when you got to perform.
O'Neal steps in and intercepts the pass. Lakers look to push their lead into double digits. Horry. Divac has it. Here's Tony Delk, whose fine play off the bench has kept Jason Williams on the sideline for quite a stretch. Chris Webber's fadeaway won't go.
The Lakers guards go back and rebound, a critical part of their defense.
Here's Derek Fisher canning his first shot.
Now remember, this guy really struggled at the end of the year. Was shooting about 20%. They put him on the injured list. He had bone spurs in his heel. Got a little rest. Looks like he's got a little bounce in his step. Helped his confidence.
Lakers by 11. Webber collides with Shaq. The foul is on O'Neal.
Now this is what you call a soft shooting touch. Webber pump fakes, he goes up, the ball bounces around and gets stuck up there. It'll be a 2-shot foul, but I guess that's what you call a soft touch. That ball just scratched up there. I've never seen a shot do that off the bounce. Usually you shoot it straight in there. That time it bounced up there and got caught.
Webber with 2 free throws. And the first one ends a 9-0 Laker run. Coming to NBC next Sunday, it's the 70s for 4 Kent State grads of 1970, a decade that marked the end of innocence and would test their friendship, featuring the hottest music of the decade. The 70s, a miniseries coming to NBC next Sunday.
You know, Bob, in the regular season, the Lakers against Sacramento, their big three scored 84 of their 103 points. Today, they have 27 of 56. Better balance. Phil has to like that. He's got other people involved right now.
Fisher from Shaq. And Jason Williams, who's just come back in, takes the rebound. Nick Anderson. That's his first basket, a three-pointer, to make it 56-50.
Well, Phil Jackson very upset. I watched him there because Brian Shaw went back and helped there in the post. Shaq didn't need any help, and he opened up Nick Anderson for the open three-point shot. No breakdown.
O'Neal's jumper is way short. Stojaković has it. Sacramento looks to run. Stojaković, wide open three.
Wow.
He won't miss badly like that very often. He had a great look at it and badly overshot it.
That would have brought us to 3.
Instead, Fisher is fouled on the drive at the other end. Boy, when Peja Stojaković gets to set his feet like that, you expect it to hit nothing but net. Instead, it hit nothing at all. The foul was on Divac, his second. Kobe Bryant back in. Brian Shaw out.
Now, see, Rick Adelman is in a little bit of a quandary here right now. Weber has 2 fouls, so does Vlade. There's 2:50 to go. You're down 7, possibly 8. If you keep Vlade, Weber in the game right now, they pick up the 3rd foul. That changes the whole second half. If you take them out and the Lakers hit you with a surge and go up 14 or 15, now you're really in trouble. So these two guys have to play very intelligently right now, Bob, and not pick up a silly foul. They need to both have 4 fouls going into the second half to play with.
Chris Webber. Another rebound for Shaq. O'Neal, what did that shot? Where did that come from?
Excuse me, it looked like he jumped in the air to pass at the last minute, kissed it off the glass. You know, Sacramento's done a pretty good job against Shaq.
And meanwhile, O'Neal lost one of his sneakers, which shouldn't be difficult to find. It's as large as some states.
Now watch this play right here. Shaq looks like he's going to jump in the air and pass it. At the last minute, oh, I don't have anybody to pass it to, so I better shoot it. So they've done a pretty good job with Shaq, making him take some tough shots. And you see him pick up that size 22. That weighs more than you do, Bob.
Weber is jostled. He'll come to the line. You know what they say about a man with big feet, don't you? Big sneakers.
See Shaq bending over and tying those big sneakers. Talk to Steve Javie. Again, let's watch this last 2 minutes once again. This is where the Lakers made their little surge in the first quarter to get a little lead. Can they push this last 2 minutes and maybe push this to double digits? Sacramento's going to have to hold on tight here and play some good defense.
Weber has a chance now for his 20th point with 2:01 to play. Once a woeful free throw shooter. He's 6 for 6 from the line in this game.
Actually worked with Buzz Brayman a lot and his younger brother, and Buzz was the guy, remember, who worked with Shaq down in Orlando. So both these guys have worked very hard on their free throw shooting.
Steve Javie stops play.
If you notice with the Lakers, when they try to get a guy into the post, they don't screen him into the post. They leave the lane wide open and let a guy flash in there and cut. And with the rules as such now where you can't ride guys, it's very difficult to play that cutter as he comes to flash to that basketball.
Anderson knocked it away. Lakers keep it. Second game in this series is not until Thursday. The first round scheduling has been geared for television, and it's been criticized in many quarters. Kobe Bryant has to beat the shot clock with a very long three, but it bounces right to Shaq.
Shaq had Robert Horry right behind him wide open, and Horry's hit a couple threes. And Shaq, he was screaming his name. He was selective here, and Shaq wanted it in the post so he could get it back.
He leans in and scores, man.
You know about selective hearing, Bob. You turn me off so often, right?
I think it works for both of us to keep us sane. 61-52 as the clock ticks down toward a minute. Jason Williams, he worked for that shot.
I like the patience, though. Normally you see him come roaring off that screen out of control. That time he took his time, got himself square, and made the jump shot. That's a nice play.
With the odd scheduling, second game not until Thursday, Sacramento could go home if they wanted, rather than stay here between games. Rice.
Well, Glenn Rice has got the best of that matchup today. Defensively, he's done a nice job on Stojaković, and offensively, Stojaković has not been able to handle him.
Rice has 11. At the other end, Weber is hit with the foul as Ori goes down, and that's 3 on Chris Weber.
Remember what I said at the 2-minute mark, 2:50 mark? I said he's got to be very careful not to get a third foul. Gets his arm out, locks him up. Robert Ori goes down. The third foul, that changes the whole game.
Just finishing up on the first round scheduling, Phil Jackson was a bit concerned with his team concluding the year on the road Tuesday and Wednesday at Dallas and San Antonio, and then a relatively quick start to the playoffs, although they got the second day Sunday rather than the first day Saturday. But as he said, we're now able to use this first round to catch up on some of the rest we didn't get at the end of the regular season.
Very, very good point. On the other hand, Sacramento, like you said, can go home, so it helps really both of them.
Ori misses, Stojaković rebounds. Last half minute.
Go inside to Vlade on Travis Knight.
There's a Laker foul, and it is on Knight, his first. And coming up on NBC.
Sunday, in 2 weeks, he reclaimed a kingdom, captured the heart of a goddess, and became a legend. Jason and the Argonauts, NBC Sunday in 2 weeks.
Meanwhile, Jason and the Kings trail 63-54.
When you look at the score right now, the Lakers with 63 points are on pace to score over 120 points. Bad news for the Kings. I think if it's maybe a 110-point game, they have a chance on the road. You get it over 110. I don't like their chances here beating the Los Angeles Lakers. So they're going to have to improve their defense. But Bob, more importantly, what's really been the difference in this first half is they've given up way too many second shot opportunities off offensive rebounds. We see Shaq getting a rest here at the end of the half.
And Weber forced to the bench with those 3 fouls.
Last possession, under 24 seconds. Shot clock is turned off. Kobe Bryant will have the ball at the top of the floor. And you'll see him isolate against Nick Anderson.
Inside 10. Bryant blows by Anderson and scores. Anderson can't cover him.
That's what we talk about the matchup. That's why Kobe's run crazy against his team after over 30 in the series.
Jason Williams ad-libbing a shot and missing at the buzzer. It's the Lakers by 10. Shaquille O'Neal had 17 points and 6 rebounds in the first half. A 20-point half for Chris Weber, but he's halfway to fouling out. And we check with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Kobe, your thought process as you approach guarding Jason Williams.
We're trying to figure out his timing. His timing is a little bit different in the playoffs. The tempo picks up a little bit, so it just takes me a little bit to kind of get used to his rhythm. But once I get a feel for his rhythm, I'll be good.
Was there something that you all saw in your film study against Sacramento that would enable you to dominate the boards the way you have?
No, it's just all-out hustle. We're able to contain their fast break opportunities. And as a result, we can pack in our defense to get a lot of those boards.
I know you got a sore wrist. How's this feeling?
Oh, no, it's a little tight right now, but it was the playoffs, man. You got to suck it up.
All right, good luck in the second half. All right, back to you, Bob.
Thanks, Ahmad, and our thanks to Kobe Bryant, who had 15 first-half points. Now stay tuned for Hannah Storm, Isaiah Thomas, Peter Bessie, and Mike Fratello in our New York studio with net zero at the half. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Add a little levity to the tense playoff situation.
Kings with the ball and facing a 10-point deficit as the second half starts.
So they got to get Vlade involved. He's got to make Shaq play. 1 of 6 just won't get it done.
Jason Williams. A 2-pointer just inside the line. And the lead cut to 8.
Now, Jason Williams has 10 points in the game and is playing well on the offensive end, but he's got to defend and get on those boards. Ron Harper had a big first half. 7 points, more importantly, 6 rebounds, 4 on the offensive board. So he's got to concentrate on Ron Harper defensively.
Shaquille O'Neal gets hit with his 3rd foul at the offensive end. And the Kings get the ball back.
You have to like what the Lakers have done. I mean, Sacramento has 17 points, but 16 shots. So they've done a nice job there with him.
Here's Divac, the hook. The tip doesn't drop on the first try, but it does for Weber on the second, and he has 22. Back to within 6, just like that. O'Neal got the bounce. He has 19.
You can see them going right through Vlade now. 3 straight possessions, inside, outside. That time Nick Anderson misses the long 3, but they're trying to establish Vlade, even as a passer, as much as he is a shooter right now.
Not only that, the possibility of tacking another foul on against O'Neal.
Well, he's got to attack him. He can't, back around. He's got to turn and face him, put the pressure on him.
Harper, head fake, and the jumper. O'Neal on the offensive glass. And AC Green with yet another tip-in.
Well, Rick Edelman talked to his team. We got to rebound. We got to get on the backboard. You can see right now the same trend. Second shots, forcing Shaq to miss. Getting it back, and Jason Williams got a nice rhythm going right now.
That's the way he started the first half, hitting a couple of threes. In this instance, just to step inside the line on his first basket, and then a three-pointer on his second try.
Well, he shoots 28% out there. You have to think, keep him out of the lane, don't let him get others involved, and eventually some of those shots are going to be missed.
O'Neal again. 2 more points. 21 for him. And the Lakers by 9. Chris Weber almost lost it to AC Green, recovers it, and cans the jumper.
We talk about his great hands all the time. Actually, AC Green played that pretty well. He took that ball between his legs and went right up and shot it.
Kobe Bryant.
The Lakers are in a great offensive rhythm. We know they're a rhythm team. Sacramento's going to have to do something to disrupt them. They're getting no turnovers. Second shots, Bob. They've got to do something to disrupt their timing.
Rice tried to walk the tightrope but stepped out, negating the Lakers' steal. And the Kings get it back. Both teams shooting the ball very well at the outset of the second half. Weber's fadeaway. Pops out and then back in.
That's 26 points for Weber now on 13 shots. Every time he lets it go, he's getting 2 points for his team. What's happened is the Lakers, though, are shutting everybody else down. Other than Jason Williams, nobody from Sacramento is putting any points up for him right now. So it's been a two-man show.
O'Neal out of the double to Harper. They swing it to Bryant. And Kobe connects. He has 19. Nick Anderson, no good off the glass. Nothing but Lakers underneath. Kobe, into Shaq.
And more importantly, Weber with a touch court foul. This is what I talked about at the end of that half, how important it was to have 4 fouls rather than 3 going into the second half. Kobe with the long-range jump shot, the little right leg in the air, the hand to follow through. Now the penetration against Corliss Williamson and the touch foul, number 4 on Weber. As I said, he has 26 points on 13 shots. Now he has 4 fouls. He's going to be rendered helpless defensively. What is Sacramento going to do, and how long will it be before Rick Edelman comes in with Stojaković in place of Williamson?
The lead is a dozen. Jason Williams can't cut into it, but Anderson takes the rebound. Here's Weber against O'Neal. Recovered by Williamson, who scores.
Well, Sacramento needs more of that, especially Corliss Williamson, Bob. He's not been involved in this game. He's got to start getting himself involved. Get on the boards, run the floor, rebound the basketball, get himself mentally into the game.
Former Arkansas star has only 4 points. Here's Kobe dumping it into O'Neal, who scores against Divac.
Too deep, too late.
He has 26, tying Weber for game honors at this point. Divac from 20 feet. AC Green controls it. Green in the paint had it knocked away. Weber steals it. And a whistle at the other end of the floor. Stopping the clock with 6 minutes and 44 seconds to play in the third quarter after foul number 2 on Glenn Rice. Phil Jackson has a dynamic duo in LA to lead the way. With the Bulls, of course, it was Jordan and Pippen. Good for 6 titles in 2 separate three-peats. The last one, a couple of springs ago in Salt Lake City. Now in Los Angeles, Jackson's banking on Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal to return the Lakers to glory.
Where you see the numbers, and you see right down there, actually, Kobe and Shaq have averaged more this year than ever Jordan and Pippen did. But this only tells half the story. Jordan and Pippen, always first league all defense. That's how they won championships. This year, Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe have established themselves as dominant on both ends of the floor. So what Phil has been able to do is not only sell these guys on their ability to score, but the defense wins championships, and it always starts with your stars.
And the basket by Nick Anderson. Michael Jordan was 28 when he won his first NBA title. Shaquille O'Neal is 28 now. Lakers looking for their first championship in 12 years. For this city, it would be the first major title of any kind in pro sports in nearly 12 years. Lakers won in '88 for the repeat, and the Dodgers won the World Series that year. Anderson fouled Bryant.
See, Kobe knows when that clock gets against him that he's the one guy that can create a shot. If you go into Shaq and it's kicked out, Rice is more of a spot-up guy, so Kobe's got to create. Nice job there by Sacramento. At the last moment, Nick Anderson gets called with a tripping foul. New 14 seconds on the clock.
AC Green. Rebound Harper.
But again, Jason Williams doesn't block him out. 5 offensive rebounds now for Ron Harper.
O'Neal back to work over Divac. Ball still loose. Finally, Vlade has it. Corliss Williamson through a crowd, nowhere to go. Rice pulls up for 3, way off. Corliss Williamson doesn't get the roll as it spins out, but he does get the whistle, and he'll come to the line for 2.
Well, as we look at Corliss Williamson's game, so 2 years ago, before they had Vlade and before they had Chris Webber, he was really their dominant low-post player. Since they've gotten him, he really does not get those opportunities. So what he has to do is run on the break, get on the offensive boards like you saw in that possession where Vlade hit with a nice pass. So he has to be sort of a hustle kind of player now to get his points. He's not one of their primary options anymore. And most often you see Stojaković come in because he's a better outside shooter and he complements his team better.
Williamson, a member of a national championship team for Nolan Richardson and the Arkansas Razorbacks several years ago, hits them both. The Laker lead is 8. AC Green, 2 on the shot clock. He'll have to get it off. And Divac has it poked away from him. Ball still loose. Finally into Weber's hands. A 3-on-2. Weber has trouble with it. Jason Williams guns a three. I don't know how you diagram any of that, but here come the Lakers. Kobe Bryant and a foul. Offensive foul on Kobe.
Well, Kobe took one dribble too many that time. He saw Vlade back there defensively, and he should have just pulled up and taken the little jump shot off the glass. One dribble too many. Vlade reaches in there at the last minute. Kobe felt that his hand hit him on the arm. You see him pleading his case. Referee had no part of that, and he picks up his third foul. Sacramento's right in this game to get a basket here, and they're right back within 6 points, and they're down 8. That time Nick Anderson shoots an air ball
on what could have been a three-pointer. Anderson no longer the threat he once was in Orlando, and he was a teammate of Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway. Rice. He's got 13. And Sacramento asked for time. 3:59 to play in the third. They were down 10 at the half, and they've only tread water since then. At the Staples Center, Guy Torrey, who is one of the stars of the NBC miniseries, the 70s. This guy is a native of St. Louis, and his real name is Joe Torrey, but he recently changed it to Guy just because I guess the confusion was getting to be too much. Talking about the 70s, here's Doug Collins on the 72 Olympic team, Phil Jackson and a different dude, and Kobe Bryant born in Philadelphia.
How about also 1977, our own Ahmad Rashad played in the Super Bowl. And NBC, never the same. 1979, a young phenom, Bob Costas, signs his first contract. The network has been never the same since, Bob.
Been reeling ever since.
And I started in '82 working with Bob, and I've never been the same.
Well, that covers all bases.
Bob, was that a long-term deal or a 1 year?
I signed a 20-year pact. I had a very shrewd agent. The Kings still down 10. 3:47 to play in the quarter. Swatted back into the crowd by Rice. The officials may be conferring about the shot clock. It was at 9. They took a second off. And they're going to leave it that way. Divac's on the run. And a 24-second violation.
That's a mental mistake by Sacramento. You've got the ball in front of you. You know there's the shot clock. You're looking at it. It's a dead ball situation. You've got to get a shot up. See, the ball goes up. The ball is going to still be in his hands. Right there, 0-0. Good call. Sacramento's had chances to get back. They just have not been able to crack through this Laker 10-point lead.
O'Neal with a nice pass to Green, who's stuffed from behind, and a jump ball is called.
Shaq makes a nice pass out of the double team as Weber comes over. AC Green feels like he has a dunk and does not feel Nick Anderson coming in from behind him. And he gets the shot block and a jump ball here. They need to control this. Try to get this down to 4 or 5 points in the last 3 minutes here, Bob.
Kings control it. Over against Green. AC was left alone on him, and Weber immediately took advantage.
Chris Weber has a tendency to float out on that perimeter. If he will stay down on that block, they can run their offense through him. When he gets out on the perimeter, they're going to let him shoot those jump shots.
Rice Misses over Williamson. O'Neal doesn't miss on the follow.
How about this? The Lakers have missed 32 shots, and they have 18 offensive rebounds. You know what the difference in the game is? Sacramento cannot rebound the ball when they finally force a miss.
Shaq, like Weber, with 28 now.
That's the shot they'll get. That one out there. Now see, he was on the block, and he scored. What did he do the next possession? Drifted out on the floor. Exactly what the Lakers want him to do.
And Rice against Anderson, who knocked it away. Peja Stojaković and Scott Pollard come off the bench for Sacramento.
Now the Lakers are very aware of Stojaković, only 1 of 6 in that first half. They need him now to give them a little emotional lift by hitting some shots. Say AC Green check out of the game. Robert Horry, who had a very good first half, 8 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 4 from the three-point line. Give the Laker bench a nice lift in that first half.
2 seconds to shoot. Kobe.
Another offensive rebound. Why did I say more? He shoots a shot that he has no chance to make. And does Jason Williams block out Ron Harper? The answer is no. 6 offensive rebounds for Harper.
The faces on the Sacramento bench. Robert Horry misses. O'Neal. And there's a foul on the play.
It's going to be a technical also.
It may be on Shaq. It is.
I tell you, when this game is over, if Sacramento doesn't win, Rick Adelman is going to be able to show all kinds of these kind of opportunities. Another miss that's forced, and Shaq just wants it more than anybody else. Well, he pushes Nick Anderson. What happened after that play? He took exception to Nick, wrapping him up, and he pushed him after the play.
And Stojaković misses the technical. You look over there. Assistants Pete Carrill and Byron Scott, Rick Adelman, collectively grimacing every time missed opportunities occur, and they're occurring constantly here for Sacramento. As you say, Kobe Bryant forced into a shot just to beat the shot clock, and the Lakers are up on the offensive glass again. Had a chance to tack on a point with the technical. Didn't get it. Instead, O'Neal gets a lucky bounce on his. Bucks and Pacers, game 1 of their series. The 1-8 matchup in the East tonight on TNT.
Nobody's talking much about this series, but the one thing that Milwaukee can do, they can put points on the board. They have the 3 on the perimeter. We know the Pacers, this is their last run with Larry Bird. They will be focused. Best home record in the NBA with the Lakers. Should be excited.
Jason Williams makes it 86-76. And Robert Horry loses it, an unforced error.
Now, people are at home probably saying, why so many offensive rebounds? Well, when you double team, you lose contact with a man. But when that ball goes up, you got to find somebody and put a body on him. It's going to be an offensive foul on Weber, which is going to be his 5th. Critical, and now he's going to get a technical. Rick Adelman is very upset, as is Chris Weber. Felt like that Robert Horry flopped on the play. And remember, he picked up a foul like this right at the end of the first half. Watch this now as he bumps Robert Horry. That's a tough call right there. Chris Weber with his 5th foul.
Rice shoots the tee.
I think you got to let some contact go down there. What happened that time is Chris Weber turned. He did not get his arms out. He bumped him with his shoulder. His hands were up. I did not think he used in any way forced to dislodge and get the advantage. Look at his hands here. He talked about his hands being up. That's where he's very upset. 2 critical offensive fouls on Chris Weber in this game.
He takes his 5 fouls and his 28 points to the bench. Here's O'Neal. And the Lakers pour it on.
See, the frustrating thing when you play against the Lakers, you're the opposing coach. You say, now, wait a second. If there's anybody who punishes people in the low post, it's Shaq. If you're going to call that against Chris Weber, then give us the same thing with Shaq.
Stojaković had it knocked away by Rice. Out of bounds to the Lakers.
been a nightmare for Stojaković. Glenn Rice has really locked into him. I think Phil Jackson really said, look, we need you defensively to take the challenge, and he has done that today.
Stojaković, who has averaged 20 points a game this year against the Lakers off the bench, has been held to 2 in this one. O'Neal has 34.
Scott Pollard has no chance. If he's just going to let him come right to the block like that and catch the ball, he's at Shaq's mercy.
The lead is 15. Stojaković for 3. Pollard on the glass. The tip. Funderburg. Fouled by Ori.
Now watch Shaquille O'Neal. Watch his, as he turns here, this is when he spins away from the defense, but on the next play, watch here about this subtle little bump with the shoulder. He goes in and boom, did you see him rock him back on his heels? Create some space. Now, he is so big and so strong, he just barely bumps him, but he knocks guys back. That's the tough part of playing Shaquille O'Neal. He creates that space, and then you can't guard him.
Shaq has 34, half of them in this third quarter. And as you noted in the first half, with O'Neal getting a breather here at the end of the first quarter and again the second, the Lakers with a flurry. Same thing here in the third.
Well, at the end of the first quarter and the second quarter, if you tallied up the runs in the last 5 minutes of those two quarters, 2 minutes in game or in the first quarter, 3 minutes in the second, it was a 14-5 run, a 9-point lead. It was 10 at half, so all the damage has been done at the end of quarters. And again, that's what championship teams do. They hit you at the end of quarters when you relax just a little bit.
Lakers looking for the last shot. Down to 5. Kobe, double team, ball knocked away cleanly. They deny him. And with 12 minutes of regulation remaining, it's the Lakers by 14. There may be a foul here.
They've called a foul on somebody. The question is,
it's on Rick Fox.
And they've called a technical on Rick Fox. Steve Javie is a guy that you cannot say anything around, especially in a playoff situation. And Rick Fox, as he walked past him, said something, and Steve Javie teed him up. Let's see where the foul is called. Kobe goes inside. And they called it on Rick Fox. Right there is where they called it. So it'll be 2 shots. That's the technical by Stojaković, and Delk will shoot the personal 2 free throws. 0.3 on the clock. If he makes this, make it 11-point game. So could be a 3-point swing here right at the end on a nothing play by Rick Fox. He should have let that go, just got out of the way.
Fox got the technical when he took his gum out and threw it angrily on the floor. On top of it, it bounced and almost hit Sylvester Stallone. Now, you can't cross him that way unless you're Apollo Creed, and maybe that's why Steve Javie teed him up.
Yeah, you don't mess with Rambo.
Now, you're mixing your movies up here. Tony Delk. Can't hit the second one. John Sally got a rebound. He came in and played a few seconds, got that rebound, got his digit in the box score, got a line in the box score. 91-79. 12-point lead with 12 minutes left. And we're back after these words from your local station. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. We mentioned Sly Stallone could be the Hurricane against Rocky, although that would be an out-of-weight class matchup. And Jack Nicholson, who turned 63 yesterday in his usual seat at a Laker game. Listen to John Sally talking to Steve Javie at the end of the third quarter.
Thanks for getting me in the game.
Thanks for getting me in the game, he said. He played just a few ticks of the clock, actually a fraction of a second, got a rebound.
Well, you know, they always keep, stats, what you normally get in your playing time. They also per 48 minutes. John Sally played 0.3 of a second, got a rebound. He'd be averaging a rebound a minute. He'd be leading the league. Not a good sign here for Sacramento. 1-22 on the road when they're trailing. It's not a team that comes from behind. A lot of it because they don't get defensive stops.
O'Neal. Short with a jumper. Thunderberg Brings it down. Here's Tony Delk. O'Neal got in his way, along with a couple of other Lakers, and there's a foul. Kobe Bryant picks up his fourth.
I think if Sacramento's going to get back in this game, you're going to see in the next 3 or 4 minutes, they're going to have to do some things defensively, and especially they're going to have to get out in the open court. Bob, how often have we talked about when you play the Lakers, if you get into a half-court game, they make it very difficult to score. And you see the 3 starters here on the bench: Jason Williams, Vlade Divac, who's had a very tough game, Chris Webber, who's been terrific but has 5 fouls, so he's going to have to sit for a while. But what happened is the Lakers worked the 2 days on transition defense, cutting off the floor. How many fast breaks have we seen Sacramento run today?
I took that to be a rhetorical question, but the answer is not many. Meanwhile, Rice equals his average with 16.
Just how easy was that, though? Just spun in there and laid the ball in the basket. They can't get back in the game if they're going to give up that kind of easy offense.
Tony Delk.
Boy, he's played well.
He scored 11. Robert Horry couldn't complete it after a nice move.
Somebody's got to step in and take a charge, though. He just missed that layup.
Funderburk out to Delk, who was fouled. Kobe Bryant flew out at him, and it looks like Kobe committed his 5th.
Sacramento's had some of their best stretches when they've had their bench in the game. Lawrence Funderburk that time with a nice pass, and Kobe gets him on the wrist. Tony Delk once again going to that free throw line.
Kobe Bryant out, Fisher in. Meanwhile, Delk has scored 12 points, and he's played 12 minutes.
Well, again, they have one of their better defensive lineups right now. You see Delk, you see John Barry, Scott Pollard, although he's so oversized or undersized against Shaq. Lawrence Funderburk on the floor. Look for them to go to either Rice against Stojaković or Shaq inside. That's their offense right now.
He just backed Pollard down, and by the time he got it, it was absolutely unstoppable.
Well, and Rick Adelman is saying, how do we guard him if we're just going to let him back us down that deep in the floor? Because you see that Webber's had 2 offensive fouls.
Foul at the other end.
The last 2 possessions for the Lakers, Glenn Rice has turned and laid one in the basket. Look how deep Shaq is when he catches this ball. Head underneath the basket, just turns and lays the ball right over the front of the rim. But look at this, how deep he is. Absolutely, I would say that's why he leads the league in field goal percentage. That is a high percentage shot.
John Barry. O'Neal grabs it and protects it. Barry swatting at him like a gnat. Here's Shaw.
Transition defense. Who is guarding Brian Shaw? You've got to stop the ball.
Pollard, and he scores. His first basket. Brian Shaw, a running one-hander off the glass. He's in 2 in a row.
Well, this guy's been really a big find for Jerry West and Phil Jackson. He loves the big guards. He's come in. He's got terrific experience. Played very well.
Shaw's 34. He played in only 1 game last year with Portland because of an injured knee. Pollard hits from the foul line.
Little tippy-toe jumper.
Here comes Shaw in his 11th year out of Cal Santa Barbara. Teammate of Shaq's, of course, in Orlando.
Now watch, when Shaw gets that ball in the corner, they love to run that lob for a dunk.
It's Rice. It would have been a 2-pointer, but it pops out.
I've seen that so often, Bob, when Shaw and Shaq run that little lob pass for the dunk.
Barry misses from 3, but Funderburk gathers it in. And a timeout taken by Sacramento. They're down by 10 with 8:26 to play in the 4th. seed, the Sacramento Kings have always played the Lakers tough, and at the outset of this game, they hit their first 6 shots from the field. Weber with the dunk, Williams with the 3, but that was in the early sparring stages. The Lakers have taken control since then. Shaq has 36 with 13 rebounds. Kobe Bryant has 19. And the Lakers, who led by 10 at the half, lead by 10 now, 99-89.
Well, in the regular season, Shaq and Kobe against the Sacramento Kings combined for a little over 65 points. They have 55 today with over 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go, so they're right on that pace once again.
Derek Fisher diving for the steal. And the foul is on Sacramento's Tony Delk.
You know, when Phil Jackson goes into a playoff series, he normally targets a couple things that he can take away from a team. Today, Vlade, 1 of 9, Stojaković, 1 of 8. Those two guys are combined 2 for 17. That won't get it done.
Shaw.
There's that lob.
O'Neal. You know, O'Neal has a nickname for everything. Dozens of them. And it's obvious what he nicknames that play when Shaw sets him up. Especially if it's failed the first time. When it works, it's the Shaw-Shaq redemption.
Scott Pollard with the offensive foul. Moves on this screen. See, Tony Delk's going to come off. Derek Fisher does a great job. He runs right into the screen and goes down. Pollard was moving, and he gets the foul.
Rick Fox. Shaw into the lane with the floater that's good. Brian Shaw with a nice little stint in this game. Now has scored 6.
They're going to be awfully tough to beat if the bench comes in and plays the way they're playing today. Robert Horry's been terrific. Brian Shaw's been excellent. Looks like Derek Fisher's more confident. You know, it's funny because Shaq let Scott Pollard do that one time and score. Next time he says, no.
Yeah, he didn't challenge him on the first one. That one he snuffed out. Now Pollard trying to contend with him, and good luck. O'Neal has 40. Iverson at 40 yesterday for Philadelphia. Malone 50 for Utah. Shaq's got 40 with just under 7 minutes to play. They may not need him long enough in this game for him to get 50. They're up by 16.
Shaquille O'Neal with the high lob. Nobody can contend with that. He goes up and he slams the ball in the basket. But again, these two guys played together in Orlando. They have very good chemistry. Shaq, once again, the punishing inside move. Lakers by 16, and you're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
And here's the way it's gone on this first weekend of the 2000 playoffs. Utah beats Seattle behind the 50 from Karl Malone. Portland holds on at home to beat Minnesota today. San Antonio, minus Tim Duncan, loses at home to Phoenix. The winner of that series gets the Lakers or Sacramento in the next round. Indiana, Milwaukee tonight on TNT. Philadelphia got 40 from Iverson and won Game 1, negating Charlotte's home floor advantage. Vince Carter a shooting nightmare. Toronto lost at New York. Playoff stars so far. And Weber just picked up his 6th, I believe, on the collision under the basket. He's fouled out.
3 offensive fouls on Chris Weber that have taken him completely out of this game. Caught the ball, turned. You see the face of Rick Adelman knows that the chances of a comeback now have really diminished. But Weber goes to the basket. Here's Derek Fisher, steps right in. That's a good call.
He just came back after the timeout. He picked up the foul within seconds.
It's been a frustrating day for Chris Weber because he was on his way to a huge game. You see, he had 28 points, but much of the game played in foul trouble.
He scored those 28 points in 27 minutes. A rueful smile on his face. He'll have to watch the last 6:53.
Well, it's interesting here, the lineup you see right now, Stojaković out of the game as he is struggling. They've come in now with Tyrone Corbin, with Nick Anderson, Tony Delk, Jason Williams, a very small lineup. Looks like they're going to really try to speed up the game, maybe shoot some threes here, try to catch up.
Robert Horry. Shot it long, rebounded Delk.
The quickness on the floor, spread the floor, now penetrate and try to get something quick going to the basket.
Williams from way beyond the arc is short. Anderson picks it up. Here's Ty Corbin in the game for the first time. Anderson lets fly and hits a three.
Now Sacramento's got to get up the floor. They got to get up and they got to try to force some turnovers. They have not been able to get the Lakers to turn the ball over, and I think that's one of the Achilles heels. If you can pressure them, you can force them into some errors on the floor.
Derek Fisher thought about a three, now lets it go and doesn't draw iron with it. Sacramento gets the ball back. They ask for a 20-second timeout. They trail by 13. Just under 6 minutes left.
Punching some threes, trying to do something spectacular to get back in this game, but I talked about the Laker turnovers. The Lakers have turned the ball over 9 times today. Sacramento has gotten 10 points. Normally, Sacramento forces almost 18 turnovers a game. They have not been able to do that today against Los Angeles.
Vlade Divac. Tony Delk around Fisher. Banks it in. I like this guy.
I like him a lot. I liked him coming out of Kentucky, and he has been a welcome addition to this team. When he got hurt with that knee, they missed him during a couple stretches of the season.
Here's Brian Shaw with Jason Williams on him. His pass deflected by Delk. There's that man again. Into Corbin's hands. Williams pulls up and may have messed up the break with that.
That's a bad shot. I mean, Jason Williams got to know that there's nobody there to rebound it.
Another turnover, though, by the Lakers. Anderson picked it off. Here comes Divac. He's bumped. He throws up the shot on the run and gets it to go.
Good things happen when you go to the basket. The three-point shot is a bailout unless you're really trying to catch up late. There's still too much time in this game to shoot quick threes. Vlade runs the floor nicely. Little hack job there at the end. He gets the bump, the three-point play. Rick Adelman likes it. You know, they score here. Bob, you're talking about an 8-point game. There's still a lot of time, and Sacramento is the leading scoring team in the NBA. They can put points on the board.
Only moments ago, they were down 16. After the three-point play by Divac, they're on an 8-0 run, and they've cut their deficit in half.
Now, if you're Lakers, you'd have to think, go back inside to Shaquille O'Neal. He scored at will anytime he's caught the ball down low.
Here's Kobe just back in. They heed your instructions, although they force Shaq away from his preferred shot. Good defense by Divac.
Push the ball right now if you're Sacramento. Don't let the Lakers get their defense set up against it.
Anderson couldn't hit it, but Divac, battling for the rebound, is fouled by Shaq. And that's 4 on O'Neal.
Nick Anderson takes a three, and that shot goes long, and Vlade hustling goes to the board. Shaq gets the foul over the limit. Vlade will be shooting 2 free throws. Bob, quietly here, 2 free throws. You got a 6-point game. Now remember, that's 2 possessions, and Sacramento is 4th in the leagues in made threes and 1st in attempts. So they're going to get the shots up at the basket. Can their defense continue to stop the Lakers to allow them a chance to win this game in the end?
And they're doing it without Chris Webber. They've climbed back into the game, trailing by 6, 4.5 minutes left.
Well, sometimes when you're the Lakers, you got a lead like that. You're a team that's supposed to win this game. You see the other team's best player foul out. You have a little bit of a mental letdown. Now they got to crank it up here again.
Divac knocked it away, but may have committed the foul. He did, his 3rd. They're not over the limit yet. So it's Laker ball from the side.
And Bob, even though that Shaq has shot free throws much better in the second half of this season, you can bet that he's going to have to make some free throws at the end of this game if the game is close.
He's got it down low. Off to Kobe, who fakes Delk off his feet and buries the jumper just ahead of the shot clock.
What patience that time by Kobe Bryant. I was kidding him before the game. I said, Kobe, can you believe it? You're an old grizzled veteran of 4 years now. How this young man has grown.
That basket stopped a 10-0 Sacramento run. Divac snuffed out by O'Neal. And a whistle that could hardly be heard above the crowd. This is one of the more exuberant crowds we've seen this year at a Laker game.
Well, they're excited. They know they have a chance to win a championship. You see the shot clock. Kobe with a pump fake. Tony Delk goes for it. Little reposition yourself. You balance. You get yourself square. You knock that shot in. That was a big shot. That pushed the lead back up to 8.
The foul on O'Neal was his 5th. Divac, the Lakers center in between Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Shaquille O'Neal, misses the first.
Now, you see Phil Jackson's going to lead him in the game. The reason is because at some point in this playoff run, Shaq is going to be in a game that's very close, and he's going to have to know how to play with 5 fouls. This is why you do this. Phil doesn't mind this little adversity right now that Shaq has to play through.
He's got the ball, and he's got 42 points. So Divac with 2 big misses at the free throw line, and then O'Neal scores against him at the other end of the floor. Bryant is also playing with 5 fouls. Divac has it spin out. The rebound to Harper. Lakers in no particular hurry, up by 10. The lob for O'Neal from Harper.
How good has Shaquille O'Neal been this year, Bob? We have seen them. This man is possessed. He's got one thing in his mind, winning a championship. I've never seen him better.
Divac. Rejected by O'Neal. And as Harper and Anderson battle for the loose ball, the whistle blows. Shaquille O'Neal, 44 points, 15 rebounds, and now 5 blocks.
Well, you see the little kiss off the glass as he flashes to the basket. And this is the kind that break your heart. These are the demoralizing kind. Not only does he dunk the ball over you, he sort of tosses you aside. Shaquille O'Neal has dominated the game, and Chris Webber, he just cannot stand to watch. He buries his head in the towel. He's out with 6 fouls.
Furnace up in this mug.
Jamie Foxx.
Burning up. It's hot enough to make a cool brother sweat. Let me get a Coors Light. Coors Light. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Get it now. Oh man, you're so pretty.
I bet you tell that to all the girls.
Yeah, I do. Coors Light. Yeah. Take her down now.
Amerikanski! Rock and roll! I'm here to stay!
You left everything behind. Your family, your country. Why? Почему приехал?
В моей стране ничего нет за бесплатно. Не буду платить за интернет-акс.
What's he saying?
He wants net zero.
Well, of course he does.
Free internet access. Net zero.
Thursday, the show you love brings new stories of hope and glimmers of magic. The beginning of 4 all-new episodes in a row, including a final farewell to a friend. An all-new month of VR starts Thursday on NBC.
Shaquille O'Neal's career playoff high is 46 3 years ago against Portland. He's within a basket of that and 6 points off the 50 scored yesterday by Karl Malone in Utah.
Well, you wonder how trends follow playoffs, regular season. In the regular season, in the 4 games against Sacramento, we see the points here by our playoff stars as the playoffs are just getting started. But during the regular season, Shaq and Kobe combined for almost 66 points against Sacramento. Today they have 65. The regular season, they shot 56%, both of them. Today they've got a combined 60%. So that trend has continued. Sacramento has no answers for the 2 stars, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal.
After being fouled by Ron Harper just before the timeout, Nick Anderson makes 1 of 2. Trying to get back into this game, Sacramento has had a few too many misses at the free throw line.
Well, Vlade misses 2, Nick Anderson 1 of 2, so you miss 3 points there. Otherwise, it's an 8-point game. You cannot make mistakes now. You got to have a perfect finish.
Kobe Bryant with Delk on him. Kobe up in the air, had to change his shot, couldn't hit it, but O'Neal is there.
Determination. Shaq just wanted the ball a little bit more than Vlade. Went and got it.
Kobe slides through. Oh! Somebody hits an unbelievable shot.
We've seen some highlights today. How about Weber in the first half? That one by Kobe.
Jason Williams, you could tell he wanted to shoot a 3, and he hit it.
And that one by Jason Williams.
He was determined to get that one off. Somehow he did.
Well, Kobe looks like he's holding that wrist a little bit. Remember, he was suffering from a sore right wrist, and he fell on that last play.
Divac fouled O'Neal.
What a magnificent play. The post up against Jason Williams. Kobe knows, he just goes around him. He hangs in the air, and there's where he falls on that wrist. You see him get up, and he's a little bit sore. But Jason Williams just tries to flag him in from behind, and Kobe beats him on the drive, and the spectacular finish.
Kings not over the limit. No shots for O'Neal, so he hits a field goal instead.
Do you think Shaq saw the NBC game yesterday that Karl Malone got 50? Maybe you want to put his little punctuation on it also. Malone has been the MVP 2 of the last 3 years. Shaq will be it this year.
And he clutches another rebound, his 17th. By the way, how about his percentage? 21 of 33 from the floor in this game.
Well, he was 8 of 16 at half, so the math, you can imagine what he's done here in the second half. Now Glenn Rice decides he's going to hit a shot, so it's all working right now for the Lakers. This is the team that everybody expected to see in the playoffs, and this is what you're getting right now.
That was a 2-pointer by Rice, giving him 18. The game is over. They're up by 14 with 1:01 left. O'Neal is still on the floor. He needs 2 baskets for 50.
Now, remember we talked to Phil Jackson before the game. I said, Phil, do you want to come out today and really set a tone for what your team is all about in the playoffs? And his answer was sort of interesting, Bob. He said, you know what? I wouldn't mind a little of adversity. He said, we've been rather unscathed most of the season. We had one little bad 9-game stretch where we were 3-6. Other than that, things have gone our way. So I don't think he would mind a little adversity here early. Today, he's not seen that. His team has been terrific.
As they did yesterday in Salt Lake City. With the game decided, the fans will cheer for the scoring hero. They wanted Malone to get the ball. Now they'll want Shaq to get it. But the Lakers are just running some clock here. 6 on the shot clock. It'll be Fox. Bryant wrestling with Divac, and it gets a little heated. They call a jump ball.
When that ball goes on the backboard, the Lakers are relentless. Kobe almost a spectacular finish. Gets the jump ball. 23 offensive rebounds today, and Shaquille O'Neal has the seat. He made his statement. He's ready. He talked about it before. As you see Phil Jackson shake Shaquille O'Neal's hand. Great respect there between the 2 men. And Shaquille O'Neal said, if we don't win it all, this season will be a failure. The way he played today will be a load for the rest of these teams in the Western Conference.
He leaves with 46 points, 29 of them in the second half. Harper and Delk going at it. Foul on Harper, his 4th. Half a minute remains. Next week, triple headers again on NBC. We begin Saturday with showtime at noon Eastern. Then it's Game 3 of the Heat and the Pistons, followed by San Antonio Phoenix Game 3, and Game 3 between the Jazz and the Sonics.
With some interesting storylines there in those games. Grant Hill suffering with a bad ankle yesterday, really struggled. How healthy can he get? Can Miami win and go 2-0 up without Tim Hardaway playing? Is Duncan back in the lineup to try to get that series even? A lot of storylines here as injuries a major factor of the playoffs, and we're just starting.
Clock winding down. Here's Glenn Rice. Baseline jumper, overshot, into the hands of Fox. Bryant couldn't hit the putback. Last 5 seconds. Jason Williams deals it off to Anderson for the dunk. Anderson, the beneficiary of that last bit of showmanship by Jason Williams. But the story of the game, the continued dominating play of Shaquille O'Neal. Ahmad Rashad will talk with the league's MVP. That's a certainty, and the star of this game. When we come back.
I like the likes of you. I like the things you do. I mean, I like the likes of you.
With 1-800-COLLECT, you save a buck or two. So why doesn't everyone use it? It's so simple. You use 1-800-COLLECT to make that call, right?
Oh, I forgot.
Forgot? You forgot. 1-800-COLLECT. Collect call is so simple. Well, I've been up all night studying, man. They're studying all night. It's like the number is 1-800-COLLECT. Okay, write it down. It'll save you big bucks. Have you heard of paper?
Yeah.
1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
Ah, your dream home.
All right, this game is building as it approaches, Danny. A lot of interesting matchups tonight. Milwaukee with
HUD.
The signature athlete for the Indiana Pacers. Probably the headline matchup of this series.
Oh, yeah, these are two of the elite two guards in all of basketball. All
30 million Americans have trusted us to build their dreams. Call for information on HUD Homes and FHA loans. HUD and FHA are on your side.
Morning.
What is Tyco doing today? We're providing fire and security systems so that every home can feel like the safest place on earth. What is Tyco doing today? Working in your world. Tyco International.
On an all-new Dateline Sunday, Elian's story. It's not over yet. How is it playing in Cuba? And just what are they being told there? What you haven't heard, The View from Cuba. Then tomorrow on Dateline, this colonel was sent to Colombia to lead the war on drugs, but his own wife was busted for smuggling heroin. Now wait until you hear what happened next. An all-new Dateline Monday.
Ahmad Rashad back at the Staples Center with Shaquille O'Neal. Had a fantastic game today. But I could tell before this game even started, around the locker room, a different mindset on this team. Were you guys going out trying to set a tone today?
First of all, happy Easter to everybody watching the game, everybody all over the world. And, we realize this is playoff time. It's a new season, so we know that we just have to remain dominant at home and steal some games on the road. And we still made a lot of silly mistakes today. We had a 17-point lead, and they were able to get back into it. So we just have to limit our mistakes and keep playing good, smart basketball. And if we do that, the sky's the limit for this team.
Now I know you had said that the season record didn't mean a thing unless you guys got the bling bling, and I had to ask somebody what that meant. I guess that means a championship ring.
That's what we all play for, brother.
All right, well, congratulations on a good game.
Happy Easter.
All right, thanks, Shaq. Back to you, Bob.
Ahmad dealing in understatement when he called it a good game. 46 points, 17 rebounds, 5 blocks. Phil Taylor is
the Milwaukee Bucks
this week. He said the key for the Lakers this year, Phil Jackson's orchestration, Kobe Bryant's maturation, Shaquille O'Neal's domination. Once again, the final score from LA, Lakers 117, Kings 107. Coming up tonight on NBC, Dateline, then In and Out starring Kevin Kline and Joan Cusack. For Doug Collins and Ahmad Rashad, I'm Bob Costas. You've been watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Not long after he lit up the Hornets for 40 in a Game 1 win last night, his own general manager, Bill,
And passion, only the strong.
soul-searching on it's going to work.
Playoffs do. NBC.
I love my teammate
Dylan and Tom Selleck.
Def, but for people to say that I'm the franchise player, to me that's ludicrous because I'm not treated like the franchise player.
I talked to him after the game. We met, and I said, Alan, there was no intent. I said, I think this match can work, and I know it can work. I didn't do anything to hurt you, and if I did, I apologize, because I don't want anybody in this organization to feel that the organization doesn't love them or doesn't respect them.
You know, I just apologize to everybody in Philly for even having to, discuss that, but that was something that was on my mind. Something I felt like I had to get off my chest.
Charles Barkley, a guy who's always been good at getting stuff off your chest if you felt compelled to say something. What's your take on what Allen Iverson's done here after last night?
Well, no, that was not the time. I mean, they had just won a big game. Tough. It's going to be a tough series, but that was not the time because Billy King is a terrific guy, but Allen just got to learn that's not the appropriate time after a big win.
And they do win last night and take a 1-0 lead, stealing home court. Anybody else want to weigh in on this situation?
Well, I was surprised that the comments were even made by Billy King because he knows he's a seasoned general manager. He knows better. He knows not to have these things get into.
That's a much better way to say it. If I
get into a team's locker room at this particular juncture of the season. I was surprised that those things even came out for them.
You have to duck reporters' questions. If you're going to have a conversation, you have it one-to-one in private. You don't have it on TV. You don't have it in the newspaper.
Exactly. All right, you have to duck reporters' questions. We'll always remember that. Hey, the Laker game is final. The third game of the day, and the Lakers, the #1 seed in the Western Conference, have beaten the Sacramento Kings 117-107. Boy, we've seen some major scoring output in these first couple of days. Malone had 50 yesterday. Iverson had 40 last night. Shaq goes for 46, tying his career playoff high. Also has 17 rebounds and 5 blocks. The Lakers, the #1 seed, holding serve 117-107 over the Sacramento Kings. When we come back, we're going to check out these Sunday night highlights. Vince Carter averaged 33 against the Knicks this season, but guess what? This isn't the regular season anymore. Highlights from the Garden coming up.
Get the shave of your life. Mach 3. It's so effortless. You take one stroke, it takes 3. The closest shave in fewer strokes with less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette.
The new BMW X5 from $39,470.
How about BobTheBugKiller.com? Yeah, whatever, Bob. XLiveBugs.com. Okay, that doesn't even make sense. WebAmDroppingDeadBug.com. Shouldn't have had that third cup of coffee.com.
We've made it easy to get your web address registered. Your only challenge is deciding on the perfect name.
BugReaper.com. That's brilliant. I'm the man.
To get your web address registered, call Network Solutions at 1-800-4.com or visit us online.
Dandruff, psoriasis, scalp dermatitis. If you asked all the dermatologists listed here to recommend a therapeutic shampoo, Neutrogena T-Gel would come out #1. T-Gel works on all 3 itchy, flaky scalp conditions. Neutrogena T-Gel, it works.
To some, he was a madman trapped in a world of his own creation.
How can you think a man as old and tired as you can still be valiant?
Because I can still dream. But for Don Quixote, the world was a kingdom of amazing adventures and impossible dreams. John Lithgow, Bob Hoskins, Vanessa Williams, and Isabella Rossellini. Journey into the imagination of Don Quixote. Tonight at 11:30 on TNT.
The countdown continues till the tip-off tonight between the Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers at Conseco Fieldhouse. 28-31 and counting. Good look at the big dog, Lynn Robinson, as the Bucks, the number 8 seed, take on the number 1 Indiana Pacers. All eyes on the Carters today for Game 1 between the Raptors and the Knicks, which the Raptors head coach suing the Knicks' Marcus Camby for $5 million claims for defamation of character. Vince, who torched the Knicks for 33 a night during 4 regular season meetings, was making his NBA playoff debut. How would it go? Don't ask. Vince starting off incredibly cold. And you're not real wild about the shot selection here, Charles?
Well, he started forcing. He started, I think, feeling pressure. He missed his first 12 shots. Then he just started getting it up. But he got to be encouraged. They still had a chance to win the game. But that was just, I don't think it was nerves. I think he just started forcing it.
We go to the fourth quarter, and despite being down 19 at one point, here comes, we'll wind him up, watch him go, Muggsy Bogues with the feed. Over there in the corner, Carter starting to find a range. He would finish with 16, but just 3 out of 20 on the day. Patrick Ewing. And Larry Johnson right here. Look at LJ.
Big shot by LJ. Puts up the LJ sign. It's back for the playoffs.
And then it's still a chance for the Raptors. Can't believe that one didn't roll in for Carter. And still Toronto has a chance. Pretty good sequence down here, down the stretch to try to tie this game up.
Can't get a better look from Tracy McGrady. Right here, I thought Doug Christie would bring the ball out or call timeout. He forces a shot that doesn't go. The Knicks get the rebound. Game over.
And the New York Knicks, leading big early, just hold off the Toronto Raptors. 92-88 the final score. Houston goes for 21. McGrady, 25 points and 10 rebounds. And there you see the number on Vince Carter. 16 points, 3 out of 20 from the floor. Everybody talking about the Latrell Sprewell-Vince Carter matchup in this thing. Let's hear from those two.
Well, great team defense. I had help from my teammates, and I was able to be right there on any of his shots. I just tried to keep my hand in his face, and I had some success with it today.
It's just a chance of a lifetime for the Raptors, and I just wanted to make it a good one. And I just had to settle down and just play basketball. I wasn't my normal self. I was ready to step out in my court and get going. And it's over with. It's done with. I'm looking forward to Game 2.
Game 2, by the way, is Wednesday on TNT. First playoff game for some of these illustrious names. You look at the point output. Charles Barkley, in fact, 17 points, 6 out of them. You remember your first playoff game, Charles?
Not at all. Thank God I didn't go 3 for 20.
Must have been in foul trouble. They only got 11 shots up. That's hard to believe.
I played with Dr. Moses. That was like the 5th option.
Probably went home happy to get 11 good touches and looks at that thing. Now, how about Patrick Ewing's influence on this game, PJ?
I thought Patrick Ewing played well, and I think that's kind of a theme for today. The veterans really stepped up. I don't think it was any accident. The Knicks' first possession of the game, they go right down under. Patrick knocks it down. They start the second half the same way. Opening possession of the second half, the ball goes inside to Patrick. He's got an answer. Then when they're in trouble and really struggling in the fourth quarter, in the last 2 minutes, the ball's down inside again. Patrick was there with big buckets all night. 15 points, 9 rebounds. The numbers aren't overwhelming, but he stepped up. He knows how to play in playoffs.
How do you feel if you're the Toronto Raptors after this one?
Well, you're somewhat encouraged, as Charles said earlier, because Vince Carter goes 3 for 20, and you still have a possession to tie the game up. The other thing that's encouraging, that he still shot 10 free throws. He gets to the line, he's able to get people in foul trouble, and that's a big bonus when a guy like that is shooting 3 for 20 and still able to get 16 points.
If you are the marquee guy, though, Charles, isn't there something inside of you that says, I got to produce, this is the stage, it's Game 1, I'm at Madison Square Garden? Doesn't that tend to make you force stuff?
I think that adds a burden, because obviously he killed them during the regular season. And when you play at Madison Square Garden, it's exciting. But you never know. I didn't think he was nervous today. I think he missed his first couple shots, then he started forcing. And, hey, they play great defense. They're not going to let Vince Carter beat him. He's got to trust his teammates. He's going to be in trouble.
We'll see what Vince comes out with on Wednesday night in Game 2 of that series. Once again, that'll be on TNT. We'll head west as our pregame show continues. Is this the year that Kevin Garnett leads the Timberwolves past the first round? It's Game 1 against the Portland Trailblazers at the Rose Garden, and it's a doozy. And Shaq and the Lakers get their postseason run started at Staples against Vlade and the Kings. Highlights of that game still to come. Keep it here.
Before I quit smoking, I asked my doctor, is Nicorette safe? And he said, of course Nicorette is safe. Smoking is not. Nicorette has been proven safe and effective in dozens of clinical trials. And Nicorette offers the Committed Quitter Support Program, which my doc said is clinically proven to increase my chances of success by up to 50%. And when he told me that only Nicorette comes in mint, I knew that that was the right choice for me. So I took my doctor's advice, and you know what? It worked.
You can do it. Nicorette can help.
He could be the greatest shortstop of all time, an all-star with 13 consecutive Gold Glove Awards. Now, the legendary Ozzie Smith brings his stellar brand of baseball to TV and the web. The Wizard, Ozzie Smith, weekly on Sports Tonight at 11 Eastern at CNNSI.com.
Stilton, he's home.
Sir, I have a surprise for you. Step this way, sir. Go ahead, sir. Sit down.
Stilton, you are the best butler I have ever had.
Thank you, sir.
Order in the best movies from your throne. In demand.
You rule.
When you need medical supplies, Whittier Medical Home Care Supply is your best choice. With discount prices and professional customer service, we offer everything from wheelchairs to hospital beds, surgical supplies, and oxygen. We also offer products from Golden Technologies, such as the Tranquil-Ease Recliner for massage and heat, or Recline-A-Lite for easy lifting, and the new Easy Table for everyone who owns a lift chair. We accept Medicare and Medi-Cal as well. Visit Whittier Medical Home Care Supply at our new location, 12633 Whittier Boulevard in Whittier.
Welcome back to our pregame show, and everybody synchronize your watches. Ooh, that's a nice one, Charles. Bucks and Pacers, game one of their series, 21 minutes and 49 seconds to go here on TNT. How about the highlights of Minnesota and Portland today? Scottie Pippen winking at you, Mr. Barkley.
Yeah, I got something for him, too.
Yeah, there's... he had 28. He had 28 today, man. That was his season high. And Minnesota's, though, is right with him. Terrell Brandon, you know, he's from that Portland area, and he was fired up. Meantime, Arvydas Sabonis
travels.
And makes Rasheed Wallace.
And they get a three-point play out because Mike Mathis was there.
Don't hold anything back, Chuck. 15 for Rasheed, and then Kevin Garnett. He had a triple-double today, 12, 10, and 11, but did not shoot the ball well. And the Minnesota Timberwolves would fall despite a valiant effort. Damon Stoudemire off the mark. Here's Rasheed again. And the Portland Trail Blazers with a fourth-quarter rally. Do you realize the Timberwolves were 20-0 on the road when they led going to the fourth quarter, but they aren't anymore. 91-88, the Blazers win it by 3. Stoudemire going for 18. Malik Sealy, 23 points in a losing effort. How about triple-doubles in a losing effort? You know, Garnett had one today, and Charles Barkley had one in 1993. You can thank Hurricane Tom Heights for all these graphics tailored to your career.
I don't remember 1993.
We're going to have to get to a year you can remember because
this year,
we're coming up blank quite a few times now. Now, this will be unforgettable for you. Kenny on his new playground here in luxurious Studio A. What are we doing?
New playground. We're going to talk about, actually, we're going to combine two players in two games.
By the way, who hit the first jumper here the other night? That was me. Thank you very much.
But we're talking about Vince Carter. These guys had their hands in their face all night, Vince Carter and Kevin Garnett. But we're going to talk about Vince right now. The Knicks did a great job of taking up the space, not letting him have the same kind of looks that he had before. And in Portland, they did the same thing with Kevin Garnett. You're not going to have the same open looks that you had during the regular season against us. We're going to have a hand in your face. We're going to send other people at you. You know that's your favorite spot on the court. We're coming double team. Get the ball out your hands. You don't do it, you're going to take a tough shot. And both of those guys had tough nights on the floor, and particularly Kevin Garnett, because you know how many free throws he took tonight?
Tell me.
0.
Wow.
And that's big.
That's very
okay,
huge.
so but we're going to talk and have Charles be Kevin Garnett and say what he does, because Charles got double teamed and all kinds of gimmicks run at him during the playoffs and what he do. And Coach explained as a coach, what would you do against a great player like a Charles Barkley in the
This is
the
a
post?
smaller, heavier Kevin Garnett.
You want me to check him?
You can guard Charles. You can guard Charles in the post. So what would be the philosophy against a Kevin Garnett?
You can't let Kevin Garnett beat you. If he does get it in good position, you got to come quick, and you got to not allow him a look at the basket.
Okay, and if you look at the highlights, they both were forcing shots. I think in Vince's case, his is going to be easier. They got to play Muggs and Bogues more to speed the game up, because the Knicks are not going to let Vince beat them in a half court. The same thing with Kevin. He just got to be a little bit more patient. But Vince's problem is a lot easier because they can run. And you saw a couple plays where Muggs got him the ball.
But Kevin, he just got to be patient. And the other thing that I noticed exactly, Charles, is in the regular season, when you get the ball on the post, most guys are kind of here. They give you that space. In the playoffs, they take up the space, they get a little more aggressive, the referees are a little more lenient, and they let guys come in and be a little bit more physical. And so you have to pass out the double team, as Charles said. If you pass out, you trust your teammates that you're going to get it back, and they're going to knock down shots to loosen things up for yourself.
Can you still hit one there, Charles? We're pretty much uncontested here. You want to?
Hey, that's the first time I've ever seen you in the lane, Ken. You won't see me anymore. Okay. You won't see me anymore.
You're going to let Charles shoot before we go?
No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw it up so he can get the rebound. That's what he does best.
Very good.
Because we've seen his jumper already this year.
I got that one rebound the other night.
You were climbing. When we come back, Shaquille O'Neal and the Lakers winners in their first time out against the Sacramento Kings. We'll be talking about the top seed in the Western Conference and the favorite for the NBA crown when we come back.
Dandruff, scratching, itching. Use Neutrogena T-Gel Stubborn Itch Control with cooling menthol you feel on contact. Unlike self-control, it works. Ask any dermatologist.
The Flintstones are back. So wake up. Drop that remote. Hop in the shower. And take a trip to the prehistoric strip. From Universal Pictures and Hamlin Entertainment, The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. Stay. Rated PG. Starts Friday in theaters everywhere.
Today, people who didn't send the money with Western Union and the heartbreak it caused. So, Mike, what happened?
I was off base one night and someone stole my wallet.
And you called me for bus fare. You didn't use Western Union?
Well, I didn't know it would make a difference.
The money never made it, and I got back late. Now I'm in a lot of trouble.
I'm sure your sergeant will understand.
Well, let's see. Sarge!
You! Drop and give me 50!
Sarge, that's my mom.
I am your mommy now!
It's your money. Use Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
The world's most advanced shave is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Mach 3. Easy loading, easy rinsing, and 3 blades that shave closer in 1 easy stroke. Mach 3 from Gillette.
Pride, fame, glory, money. Welcome to the best basketball tournament you've never seen.
It's poetry. It is something that should be bottled and shipped all around this country.
TNT brings you a brand of basketball born in the streets of New York City.
The NBA ain't got nothing on us.
Rucker Park, where players go to be discovered and to play on hallowed ground. Narrated by Andre Brower. Saturday, May 6th at 10:05, only on TNT.
And we welcome you back. Kings and Lakers tipped off their series today. And here's one of those plays that makes you ooh and ah. Watch Chris Webber. Ooh, ah. Even on the replay.
That's terrific. That's what Shaq needs to do. They have to get easy baskets. The dunk wasn't easy, but the quick shot and transition was.
Great start for the Kings, and the Lakers kind of said, look, if you want to run up and down with us, we can do that too. And then they started running away up by 10 at the half. You saw Kobe with the spin, and then Glenn Rice misses, but Shaq is a large individual and just does that all day.
I tell you what, nobody got an answer for him right now.
Chris Webber doesn't have an answer either. Got a technical foul there. And the Lakers put it away when Harper went up top to Shaq, and Shaq sent it down. Sacramento made a run late, but the Lakers, able to put this thing away. Shaq goes for a measly 46 in this one, 17 rebounds and 5 blocks, matching his career playoff high. The next game is Thursday on TNT. Greg Sager at the Staples Center caught up with Shaq.
Shaq, Phil Jackson said, what can we expect of ourselves in the playoffs? How long before you knew the answer?
Well, we have home court advantage, so we just need to remain dominant at home, limit our mistakes, keep playing smart, and steal some games on the road. And if we can do those things, we could be fine. We played well today. We still had some mental mistakes that got them back into the game, but we picked it back up.
Teams are supposed to.
117-107 the final. Is it true that Steve Francis wrote on that big chair they gave you, it's a good thing that he stepped in there when you and Shaq were going at it earlier this year? Is that what he wrote on that
people
chair?
forget that I was the guy on top.
Hey,
if you had a videotape, the guy on the top always the favorite. Don't forget that.
How about, is Shaq the favorite for the NBA title and for the MVP?
Well, he's definitely going to win the MVP, but the Lakers are playing terrific. I think the biggest difference, Shaq's been dominant the last 3 or 4 years, but Kobe Bryant has taken the defense to a new level. Other than Gary Payton, he's the second best defensive guard in the league. That's the big difference in the team.
Sacramento surprised you at all today with what they were able to do or how close it was late in the game?
I can't believe 25 offensive rebounds for the Lakers. Shaq could have hung in. You can't give the Lakers that many extra shots. You know, it's easy to say after the fact, but 25 offensive rebounds is a joke.
And over the years, the biggest thing for the Lakers have been adversity, how they handle it. They haven't been tested in the regular season, haven't had any adversity in the playoffs yet. Once they have that, then we'll see what the Lakers are really made of.
Is this a dynasty?
I think it's got potential. If they win a championship this year, they could win the next 5 or 6.
Come on now, 5 in a row.
Well, you know, the Bulls won 6 out of 8, and the only reason they didn't win them other 2 is because Michael retired. And Houston was good those years, too. Shaquille is exactly... Shaquille